All right, it says we're live, so we're going to get started. And I got to rub my hands because that's just how I got to start, right? Because I get excited. I get excited to talk. Hey, I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about a topic that I see a lot of people talking about. In fact, yesterday I was recording a future podcast episode with somebody, and we were talking a little bit about the fact that sometimes we feel like we have to conform, or that there's certain things that people expect us to do, and sometimes we don't want to do it, right? Or we believe that there is a certain face or mask that we have to put on in front of the world, when really that's not who we are, right? So I wanted to come on here and talk about that here for just a minute. And one of the reasons for that is my neighbor has been doing some renovations, and so I have been hearing a jackhammer in the background for the last 3 days. So I finally have a little clarity in my brain right now, so I can come on here and talk. But anyway, what I want to talk about is there's actually one of the songs that popped into my head this week that I was listening to, listened to the video several times. Was one. It's an older one. I say older. It's from Aerosmith in the '80s, so it's not like old school Aerosmith, but it's still stuff from Aerosmith, and it's called "Livin' on the Edge." And so I put some of those lyrics up in the in whatever you call it, in the post above. But it starts off. You probably heard the song before, but there's something wrong with the world today. It's wrong with our eyes. We're seeing things in a different way, and God knows it ain't His. It sure ain't no surprise. And I see this. I mean, I talk to lots of people. I see what's going on in the world. And I know that there's a lot of you that are out there that are thinking, you know what, there's something wrong in the world. There's a lot of things that are wrong in the world, but there's a lot of things that are right in the world as well. And so, one thing I want to bring to you is there's a lot of really good that goes on in the world too. We just tend to focus or gravitate our attention on the things that maybe are not so good, right? I mean, there's always turmoil and other stuff going on in the world. But I'll just give you an example. One of the people, and if you're on with me live, hit a comment so that if it comes through, I can see that you're here. And if you have any questions as we're going through, we can kind of correspond a little bit back and forth. But anyway, one of my friends that I have, she had a post that she had done on LinkedIn and Facebook, and somebody plagiarized the whole thing, like word for word. And then the person who plagiarized it got credit for it in an article online. And so she's like, hold it just a minute. I'm the one that wrote that. How come this other person's getting credit for it? And in fact, there's a lot of good people out there. The people who put it up there said, oh my goodness, we didn't realize they changed it. And in my comment to her, said, look, I trust that there's a lot of people in the world. I like to see the positive, that there's a lot of good people trying to do good things. And in fact, that happened to her, right? There was a misunderstanding that happened, and very quickly it was actually rectified, and she got credit for what she had actually written, right? So one thing for you to think about. Again, we see a lot of the bad that's going on in the world, but there's a lot of really good things that are going on too, right? And that's one of the things that I like to highlight in the podcast. In fact, I recorded one on Tuesday that's going to be coming out in the future about Ashanti Branch and some of the great things that he is doing in the world, because there's a lot of really good things that are going on out there. But let's get back to talking a little bit about conformance too. Because, it was interesting again. I mean, here I am kind of being nerdy about it, but one of the things that I love to do is when a song comes in my head, I go and I listen to it several times. A lot of times I'll watch the video several times. I did that with Livin' on the Edge. And then I do some research about it a little bit too, because I always like to understand and learn kind of what's behind it. And the interesting thing, because I misspoke, it wasn't really old school Aerosmith. It was actually from '93 when they issued that or dropped that song "Livin' on the Edge." But one of the things that was behind it was 1992. A lot of the riots that happened as a result of the Rodney King incident that we had here in Los Angeles. In fact, there were several different songs that were written about that and some other great stories that I'll try to share with you in the future. But, as you go through and listen to that song and think about it, a lot of times there's this angst, there's this anger that kind of comes up into us because, we don't feel like we want to conform. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to conform. Actually, you don't have to. You don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You can show up and be who you are. Now, you might need a little polishing, but you know what? That's something that you can work on, but you don't have to pretend and fit in and try to be like everybody else. Okay. In fact, I'm wearing my Talk Birdie to Me shirt today. A lot of people wouldn't wear that. A lot of people wouldn't come on here online and do that, but I do because I like it. I like the shirt. I like to wear t-shirts. Okay. So you're going to see me in t-shirts a lot. I don't have to wear a suit and tie. The suit and tie is not who I am. And if it's not who I am, then I shouldn't be wearing it all the time. But anyway, the reason, again, why I wanted to talk about this is I know there's a lot of you that are out there that feel like you have to pretend, you have to be somebody else, you have to dress a certain way, you have to, go through a certain career path, maybe that's been told to you. A lot of people that I know that, for example, that are attorneys, they get told, hey, you got to go to school, you got to get a job, you got to be a lawyer so you can make good money, or be a doctor, or like me, I went through and got my accounting degree and my CPA. Why? So I could have a good job, right? But there's a lot more to life than just the money. In fact, again, I was talking to somebody Tuesday about, when we're actually able to make a difference and an impact in other people's lives. You really can't put a price tag on that. And if you've done it, you know it, right? And so what I'm here to tell you too is that, conforming and trying to be somebody else, trying to be like somebody else, saying that you like things that you don't like, you don't have to do it. It's okay to be yourself. You can be uniquely you. In fact, if you think about it, the people that you love the most, the people that you admire the most, are not people who just fit in with everybody else. In fact, when you think about all of the different people in this world who have made a huge impact in the world, are they like everybody else? They're not, right? They're different. It's okay to be that way. And you can do it in a way that actually is safe, right? And if you don't know how to do that, then, again, reach out to me, because that's one of the things that I teach people how to do, right? Is those people who want to be revolutionaries, who want to change the world for the better, have a positive impact in this world, both on the world, but in their own life as well. You can do this, right? There's certain mindset practices and conditioning that you can do. There's certain language that you can use that will make it more effective for you to actually be yourself, to not have to conform, and still be able to have a positive impact in this world. So just wanted to come on here quick today and share that. And if you got questions, hit me up in the comments, send me a direct message, and just know it's okay to be you, even if you feel like you're living on the edge, and you don't have to. All right. See ya.